What's going on? It's been a while since I've done one of these. The simple fact is these things make me nervous. Oh, there's all kinds of people. I'm serious. They make me really fucking nervous because it's different on stage. You know, there's other guys that hide your mistakes behind, namely your bandmates. It's just the same way you hide theirs, you know, by trying to play well enough so that you don't notice. But here I'm kind of alone. I'm a man on an island. So you know what do you guys want me to do?
Slayer!
I don't know. You want to hear some riffs? Yeah! Want to hear some, I'll just play something.
Deranged!
Deranged? I don't know if I remember how to play that. Turn that on. That's too simple. Let's play something that's really hard that I've never played since we recorded it, and I don't know if I can do it. All right? Play Persona non grata. Hold on. I gotta get comfortable for this one. All right, here we go. So look, I could sit here and noodle around all day, or I could play something you asked for, teach you something, answer questions, whatever you want, all right? What do you guys want?
Everything.
Come on, man, that's the most difficult thing ever, is to give you everything.
So what's your recommendation for a kid that's just starting to play guitar?
Come over here.
All right, go over there, dude.
Yeah,
let's go.
You know what you gotta do is learn AC/DC. Don't bother doing anything else. Don't do all this stuff. Just this. Learn that, everything else follows. What's most important? Have fun. Playing guitar is fun, right? Yeah, that's all that matters, right?
He actually loves AC/DC.
Forgot it. Yeah, just keep playing and have fun, and that's the best advice I can give you. Bang your head really hard.
Hey,
My favorite song has to be the Toxic Blitz.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, we got Caitlyn Jenner. All right, let's boys, I guess. All right, let's, anybody got some questions? You, sir.
Did you ever like Frank Marino?
Frank Marino is God. What are you talking about?
Yeah, because when you started doing those.
You need to talk to Zach Wild about Frank Marino. Because Zach knows way more about him than I do, and I've been listening to the guy since I was a kid. But Zach's a Frank Marino disciple, like in every way. Like every killer pentatonic lick ever known to man was invented by Marino.
Yeah, he rips.
Yes.
Have you and the rest of the guys ever thought about remaking demo songs into the studio? Like, for example, songs such as Whipping Queen, Death Row, Die by His Hand?
No, we haven't. We played when we did the Bonded by Baloff show a bunch of years ago, and Kurt came out and played. We actually did Whipping Queen. for the first time since before Kurt joined Metallica. We all had to listen to bootlegs and the old demo to relearn it because I had no idea. Something like that. Very bad version. But yeah, we've never wasted any time. I got too many riffs to worry about that stuff. But most of those songs I do still know how to play. Kurt's always stunned that I can play Death and Domination. And these old songs like, you gotta get away. Backyard party stuff.
What's the most memorable show that you played with Slayer?
For Slayer, most people would immediately lean towards the final show, which was quite memorable, obviously. But Oakland Coliseum, you know, playing in an arena where I saw so many bands as a kid growing up, you know, everybody from, you know, Judas Priest to Madonna and Janet Jackson, and I played there. And it was killer, and I'll never play there again because Exodus ain't gonna sell 15,000 tickets. But, I mean, maybe, I don't know. Never say never, but the odds are against us. But yeah, that was pretty cool.
Amazing. And also, what are you working on with Exodus for riffs?
Heaviest shit you ever heard.
All right.
That's all you're getting.
All right. Looking forward to it.
Gary, what do you remember about Wack in 2008 and who put up that set list?
Who came up with the set list?
Yeah,
I have no idea.
2008. What do you remember about that show?
Show was
Killer
killer.
show.
I mean, we played super early and the crowd was super pumped and hungry. And I mean, listen, there are literally Exodus festivals that have been done where we didn't have paper to write a set list. And out on the stage were paper plates. Because that's how Exodus rolls. We don't have a shit together. And, you know, like you look down and there's like a paper plate. And I walk out like, what's a fucking paper plate with songs written on it? That's all we had, dude. We had no paper. But yeah, Vakken was sick. I'd like to play again. They kicked us off the bill last time we were booked there, though.
Great show.
Long story. But they, you know, they never say never. Yes.
Any thought about doing like a solo record or? Like
I'm sorry?
Like a solo record or like a collaboration with writers?
I've thought about doing a solo record for years, like having different friends play on it and different singers and shit like that. Maybe someday, but I've given everything I got to Exodus and always have. And like when the rest of the band are sitting around doing nothing, like a bunch of lazy fucks they are, and I love them to death, I'm writing or I'm doing other shit. But that's okay, that's my role. And so I never have time for that kind of shit, you know, like even when I have time, like right now with Europe being canceled, you know, I've been home doing nothing, but I need to make a new Exodus record. So I've been working on that, you know, as aside from doing some, you know, home improvement bullshit. Yeah, you know. It is Caitlin. Yes.
Gary.
Yes.
What were your considerations when you're replacing Jeff and also in his guitar style, like when you were approaching it, that part?
You know, I can't play Jeff's style. I mean, there are guys, you know, I tend to want to say nobody can, but there's guys out there in tribute bands who've dedicated every minute of their day to mimicking Jeff's stuff. And, you know, if that's what you want, I always said those guys are better for the job. I tried to keep the vibe. If Jeff's playing real fast, I'm not going to like hit one note and bend it all day and try to be Mr. like emotion, you know? You know, like make a note sing, you know, I'm going to try to keep it frantic if he was frantic. If he was on the whammy bar, I'm going to go on the whammy bar. His stuff on Show No Mercy has a lot of melody, and so I tried to keep some of those key melody lines to keep, you know, because those were like part of the song almost, you know? But the band never asked me to do Jeff stuff. They just let me be me, and it was cool, you know, because I think I would have done a disservice to them to try to like play it. It's like one of a kind, you know. Yes, sir.
Give us a funny tour story involving another band.
Funny tour story. There's kids in here. I don't know. I mean, you know, involving other bands. You know, we used to like when Exodus would go out on the road. You know, we were always best friends with all of our opening bands, and sometimes, you know, we would offer up an open bunk. Someone get out of their van and come hang out and sleep comfortably for the night. Only catch was they had to drink whatever we gave them. It's always started with a beer with like a bunch of hot sauce in it and like scorpion pepper sauce. And next thing you know, like there's Febreze being brought out and shit and all this horrible stuff. And, you know, Shane from 3 Inches of Blood drank it and kept it down like a man. But, you know, like, you know, I mean, you know, a lot of sharpieing going on, you know, if you fall asleep outside the safe zone of your bunk, you know. You know, all's fair game in war and tour.
How did you compose the intro piece to No Love, and what's your favorite breed of cat?
You're gonna speak up. I am wearing hearing aids, by the way. Thank you, Slayer. Not for the hearing aids themselves, but for the hearing damage. Okay.
How did you compose the intro for No Love, and what's your favorite breed of cat?
No Love started with just noodling around, you know, just plucking around like with, you know, major third harmonies, and next thing you know, this melody came. My favorite breed of cat is Scottish Fold. I'm looking. I'm currently catless, but I've not given up hope. But I will not accept any cat right now. And for me to go back into having a cat, it's got to be one that's got a face that will be Instagram famous. I want to be like that guy with his own little bub, you know, the angry cat, you know, grumpy cat, and all that.
How did you start to get into cats, like, to begin with? Like,
how did I get into cats?
Yeah.
I was a cat family, you know. My parents had a cat that lived to be like 21 years old.
Oh.
And always had cats, you know. Had a couple of dogs, but I'm a cat guy. Maybe it's because I'm lazier and cats can fend for themselves a little more. But right now, though, you know, I live in the woods. I'm surrounded by deer and wild turkey and pheasant and, you know, quails and lizards everywhere and stuff. So I kind of have pets and I don't have to feed them. It's kind of cool. Yes.
Gary, what's your favorite guitar, man?
My favorite guitar, my own personally, the blood guitar.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got 18 vials of my own blood on it, you know, so, and not by accident, you know, it's easy to put 18 vials of blood on a guitar if you, like, fall down the stairs while carrying it or something, you know, but, no, that guitar's special. I brought it out on the last tour for the first time since Slayer, you know, like, you know, I only bring it out for, like, when I think it's going to be safe. You know, like, some club, some stage diver gets up and kicks his steel-toe boots right into it, you know, like, I'm not going to put it in that kind of predicament, you know, I'm going to make sure it's, like, babied. Yes?
A lot of guitar players, either they're lead players or they're rhythm players. You kind of excel at both. What would you attribute that to, or what do you practice more? What comes more natural to you?
Rhythm comes more natural to me now. You know, like, as you get older, you know, you start dealing with, like, you know, arthritis, and my knuckles hurt all the time, and you know, going around putting biofreeze on your hands before you play, and seriously. And I enjoy the rhythm part more. You know, the song, I'm playing rhythm for 99.9% of the song. Why suck at that? You know, there are guys out there who are just the best lead players, and then they just don't care about the rhythm. But it's like, dude, that's the meat and potatoes, you know? And you just gotta, like, got to give 100% on that and fuck the solos, you know. But playing lead's fun. I know 5 licks. That's literally all I know. But I am living proof you can make a career with 5 licks. I mean, you know, I'm not like Brandon Ellis. You know, Brandon's like the sickest, best guitar player in all of heavy metal. I was fortunate enough to share a stage with him when he filled in last summer for Lee Altus, who missed the European tour due to a family emergency. And watching that guy play, it's just, you know, I mean, I can't even, I'm too lazy to even want to get that good. I got other shit to do.
What's your
Yes,
favorite?
sir.
Gary, what scales and modes do you kind of gravitate to?
Now you're talking technical shit. We just talked about that I know 5 licks. No, I mean, yeah, I'm self-taught, so I don't know the names of half of what I do. I know, like, there's, you know, diminished and harmonic minor and all that kind of stuff, which I love, both of those, you know. But there's been a million times where I've had some kid come up to me and like, that, you know, Phrygian diminished X minor thing you did on this solo, and I'm like, that's what you call that. I just called it that Richie Blackmore ripoff thing. But you know, I've learned it all myself. You know, it's like I know my theory enough, you know, and I kind of know what I do is called. You know, fortunately, I don't have to know too many different licks or what they're called. Only know a few, and but yeah, you know, lessons. You know, I took about 3. You know, in my whole life. You know. Yes.
Can you show us those 5 licks?
What's that?
Can you show us those 5 licks?
All right. Yeah, which started out like. I didn't mix up the pinky. Then you put in a little half steps and make it flow. You know? Shit like that. There's like most of them right there. Basic rock stuff. I'm a rock guitar player on steroids and meth. You know, like those are my roots are hard rock. You know, like, and that's still how I play. I still play more like Angus Young on methamphetamine than I do Yngwie Malmsteen. You know, because that's the stuff I grew up on. You know, Ronnie Montrose and Robin Trower and Frank Marino and Joe Barry and, you know, Eddie Van Halen later and all that stuff. You know, I'm a rock guy. I like hard rock. You know.
What's the key to? Oh, sorry.
Oh no, where are you?
Right here.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
What's the key to increasing speed and allowing yourself to shred?
Come closer, sir.
What's the key to picking up speed and allowing yourself to shred? Because I would consider myself a beginner, but you know that's what it's fun at.
You know, repetition. You start out slow, and you know, don't try to go too fast. I mean, I'm guilty as anybody. You know, I'll have something I want to do, and I start out trying to do it too fast, too quickly, and you know, it sounds like a mess. And you know, you just start out and build it up to where you can play it at a mid-pace, solid, and then try to speed it up. And you know, on some days I'm faster than others. You know, like, you know, to me, I'm one of those guys who's a slave to his sound. You know, like, if my sound is really killer on a stage, I'll play really good. If it's less than stellar, I won't. Because, I mean, I know guys who you can put them up here with a pig nose amp and a big muff, and they just shred. It doesn't matter. And I really am particular about how I hear things. So, you know, some days I'm faster, and some days I feel like I'm sluggish and slow. Yes?
Who has been your favorite bass player to work with?
Favorite bass player to work with? Jack Gibson, of course. You know, like, he's been my bass player longer. I've played in Exodus with Jack Gibson longer than I've played with anybody else in Exodus. It's my ride or die. And I hate that term. It's really awful. You know, it's like my wife and I, one of our pet peeves is we hate people who speak in cliches, and I just didn't. Yes, sir.
What's your favorite guitar color?
Favorite color?
Yeah.
Purple. Because Prince is my hero. We were just talking about my, Tony and I were talking about my Prince tribute eclipse, the one that says Purple Rain on the back of the neck, but rain spelled as in rain and blood. But it's in the same font as Purple Rain, and that's one of my favorite guitars. And, you know, he's my hero, you know, like always has been. Since the first time I ever saw him live. Changed my life. Changed everything. Yes,
What's
sir.
your favorite thing about being a grandpa?
Everything.
Right?
It really puts life in perspective. You know, they say being a grandfather, it allows you to get a redo on all the things, you know, you try to be a great father, but, you know, you learn, you know, and your kids are grown by the time you realize everything you maybe did wrong, and so you try to do it better with your grandkids, but, you know, you're not their parent, so you try to advise their parents and best you can. But, you know, the other best thing is you get to give them back. When you're done playing with them and hanging out, you to hand them back. Well, if they're young enough where they got a bag of shit in their pants, give them back. It's my guitar tech, Steve Brogdon, in the house, by the way. I think it's out of tune, bro. All right, next. Sir.
Any cheater tricks you figured out over the years to nail your squeals?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
Any cheater tricks that you figured out?
Oh, I cheat all the time. We all cheat. We were talking about that as well.
No. But to help you nail your squeals.
I just finger.
Whammy bar squeals.
Been doing those for. Fun stuff. It's also easy, you know, like, you know, people would be more impressed by a whammy bar climb than anything else, and it's really a good way to, like, give yourself a break. Like, wow, he's shredding, he went like this. But it's fun, I love whammy bars, you know. I got them on almost everything I own, so.
Do you feel that the titanium screws make any difference on your whammy bars?
Say that again?
The titanium screws, do they make any difference on the...
They brighten up the sound a little bit, and they're indestructible. They're awesome. And plus, look, they look totally cool. I'm all about color-coordinated guitars. And live, my guitars have coordinated cables. Like the Officer Holt, the blue one, has a blue and gold wrap guitar cable. Company made it for me. You know, it's like it's a little overkill, but it looks great. I love it. Yes, sir.
I want to say congrats on your 2-year sobriety, man.
Thank you. I'll drink an alcohol-free beer to that. It's not like I don't know what a hangover feels like. I felt my first one probably at about 16 and $1 million cents, and you know, I mean, I quit smoking. All right, that was the hard one. You know, quitting drinking was easy. But yeah, I never felt better. You know, I'm not getting any younger, so just want to extend this life of thrash as long as I can.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not ready to retire. I'm fucking having fun, right? Who wants to learn riffs? Who plays guitar here, other than Steve? Yeah, come here. What do you want? Let's have a tutorial.
Oh, what the fuck?
Let's get this out of my face. All right. I remember it, I'll teach it.
Angel of Death.
No, no, come on, be specific. Name a song.
Bond My Blood.
Violence! See, this is interesting stuff because nobody plays any of these riffs right on Bonded. Nobody. There's always weird little pull-offs. Everybody go. Awesome.
She moved last, actually at the first show, last night or two, what's her name here, the last one at the forum, and she
That's a good one to see.
numerous years connected with Exodus, man, and you sent me,
All right, on.
yeah, man, Gary Holt.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Who else wants another riff? Come
I
on.
want.
Play Stairway to Heaven.
Gary, yes, through violence.
That's too easy. Come on, who's playing Stump the Holt here?
March of the
But only with my own riffs.
Hey, March of the Syncopants.
What's that?
March of the Syncopants.
Oh, you stumped me. Put me on the fucking spot with that one. That was just like adrenaline taking over.
I'm trying to figure that one out, dude.
What's that?
Corruption.
Oh, shit.
Blacklist.
What's Blacklist? That's it. I play that every tour and every show.
Piranha.
What's that? Ooh, see, now he's stumping me there.
Where's my shepherd?
Exodus.
Now you kind of stumped me there.
Yeah, source of habit.
Exodus.
What's that?
Exodus.
Too easy. He called out a deep cut, and I'm not sure if I played it right. Oh, see, I'm stumped.
Yes!
Where's
my shepherd? You must continue.
Oh, I'm not warmed up enough for that. down picking cheats there that I do because on the album I didn't, but like live I down with some down picking because it's kind of hard. And
Intro to No Love.
What's that?
Intro to No Love.
Cowboys from Hell.
You stuck me already.
Thrash under pressure.
Against you solo.
Say that?
The you against you solo.
Come closer. Come on up here. Come on. Come on up. Don't forget, I am wearing hearing aids. Oh, I don't remember. You already stumped me. I do not remember it. There's so much Slayer shit I have forgotten already.
That's crazy.
That was- Oh, you stumped me. I don't remember how to play the Phillips. I don't remember how to play the Phillips. Absolutely stumped me and I'm humiliated. What's that?
Thrash under pressure.
Oh, shit. Sort of stumped me. If I'd have stopped before the chorus, I would have like, gotcha. Nope, I had to keep going, and I don't remember the chorus.
What is the standard tempo for thrash metal?
There is no standard tempo. No, I mean, some songs are slow, like. It could be as slow as that, or it could be. Varies. That's the beauty of thrash metal, though. It's not all fast. Just a lot.
I've noticed that a lot of thrash players, yourself included, use the pinky for the power chord when you move it around. Is there a particular reason for that, or why
No,
you
I
do
mean,
it?
like, Kerry King's a master, one of the best rhythm players I've ever seen or known or played with in my life, and he never used it. I can't do it like that. But Kirk Hammett taught me my first lessons. He held the hand chord like that, and so I did. And to me, it's like the fingers are kind of about the exact width of the power chord. I'd have to have my pinky cut off to learn to play. If I lost a pinky, it's hard. It's hard for me. That's the way my hand falls on the
What about mandatory suicide?
tunings, like what tunings you usually derive from, like standard half step down, or did you pick any craziness on like drop crazy C shit?
No, Exodus, we've been in D standard since Force of Habit.
Oh, wow.
Long time. The only album we ever did that was in standard 440A tuning, it was bonded. Everything after that until Force of Habit was a quarter step down. Weird, right? And just D standard sounds like a normal tuning to me now. I've been doing it so long. It doesn't sound dropped or low. And then we dropped down to drop C or some stuff. Just feels normal to me now. I use my own custom set of strings from Von Monster Frankenstein gear with Doyle, and they're 52s on the thicker wound strings, and then 9s here. And it started as just like my elbow tendonitis problems and stuff. You know, I wanted less strain on my hands when I'm bending stuff, and they sound fat. They sound killer. They bend all over the place. It's like, why fight your guitar? It should want to move, you know. Awesome.
What are you tuned to right now?
What's that?
What are you tuned to at the moment?
Come on up. I can't hear you. Come on down.
So I guess that's what you tuned to right now. What you?
I'm hella deaf.
What tuning are you in right now?
Right now I'm in D standard.
All right.
Yeah, just. Dude, my hearing aids are not working so good.
What? What?
Yeah, I know. Before I got hearing aids, I had one. It's called my wife.
Yes. Like father, like son. Can you play that?
I got you on that. I didn't play well, but I knew it. But I'm going to stop before the verse because I don't know if I remember that. I should know this shit, right?
Can you play Salt the Wound?
Yeah. How's the start of that go? I know the riff. So I'll give you that one.
So what is the difference? There's a lot of people that have a lot of talent. What is the difference with the people that make it and don't make it? Because it doesn't seem like it's just talent.
Repeat the question, I'm sorry.
So there's a lot of people with a lot of talent and they don't make it. What is the difference with the people that do make it?
You know, there's a million, and I mean a million musicians with more talent and ability than I have, or guys that have more talent and ability than guys who have more talent and ability than me, who don't ever make it. There's a million factors involved. You know, it's just, sometimes it's luck, being in the right place at the right time. Sometimes there's more to just playing, you know, it's like, you know, there's a million guys who are shredders on YouTube, but you know, you see these guys who are just like doing all this crazy shit and they're sitting there smiling at the camera, their webcam. Have you ever done that live, buddy? No, they haven't. You know, have you ever done it outside your bedroom? No, they haven't. You know, and it's performance too, and and more importantly, it's songwriting. You know, you can play all the licks you want, and if you can't write a riff, then what's the purpose? You know?
Yep.
Chemistry. Genetic replicas these days. Like he can't give you.
Jared, can you tell us about your new signature ESP?
Yes, that's the new V. Let's talk about that. All right, hold on. Let's play it. Let's mark this guy in.
Oh, that's fucking sick. That's a fucking.
Multi-ply red and black binding all the way around the whole thing. It's totally sick. I mean, it was something worked with Tony from ESP on to make happen, and it happened. And totally stoked. And it's totally cool for me to play something pointy again. You know, it's like,
Thank you,
awesome. I can't wait to like run into someone in the band and hurt them with it. 'Cause, back in the old days, Rick Hunold and I used to have a competition of who would draw blood the most. You know, you run up behind Rick and he doesn't see you and he swings that pointy headstock back, and next thing you know, you're getting butterfly stitches backstage, and then you get them back. It's awesome. But yeah, it's fucking cool. You know, I mean, it's like a metal weapon. It's elegant looking. My favorite two colors together, black and red. It's badass.
Sick.
You wouldn't happen to have any more for sale.
Say that again?
You don't happen to have any more for sale today?
This one's mine. I had to ship it back because they wanted it for these clinics, and they said, well, you know, there's a prototype and then a real one, and you have them both. You mind shipping that back? So I boxed it back up and sent it, and I said, go home. And actually, when I get home, I'm going to put some of that red hardware on it. It's going to look killer.
Available pre-order through Pitbull Audio.
Yeah. Come here. Come check it out. No, come here. Who wants to play this thing?
No, that's it.
Come on. Come on. Do we have another stool? My butt hurts.
Wow.
Good job, brother.
Now I got David Berkowitz. I don't know if any of you guys know, but I have a lot of different guitar picks because I'm always coming up with something stupid. Yeah, this is just one of the serial killers collect set. There's Bundy, Berkowitz, Gacy, Dahmer, and Pablo Escobar.
James Huberty, McDonald's Massacre in San Isidro.
Then I got, several ones with the world's most famous Kardashian family on it. And I got one with the little fat kid with guns, and it's awesome. Gary Holt signature set. They're an 81 and an 89R. The 89R gives you a single coil up at the neck side when you yank the volume knob out. Really cool. Sounds great. Like clean.
I usually have to buy like the import line of guitars because I'm broke or whatever. But I would say out of all of them, LTD is probably the closest one that compares to the actual ESP.
They're awesome.
Than most brands. Do you actually play the LTD on the road?
I play them all the time. Like when we just went to South America last November, December, I took only LTDs because we were doing, there was like 27 flights. 27 times some guy who's really burnt out on his job is throwing a case, trying to hit the conveyor belt, and maybe not. So, you know, I'm not going to take those. But another thing we were just discussing back there while I was warming up a little bit, that the difference between these and the Gary Holt custom one is like a Dodge Hellcat and a Bugatti. Right? Both will splat you into a wall and end your life, and like that. But one is a level of refinement, and the other is like just brawn and muscle car, American, roll them off the assembly lines. But they're well made. These are killer guitars. I still play them all the time live, even if I have the customs. They're a little lighter, and like, you know, I suffer from some chronic back problems. At times it's really bad, at times it's fine. And sometimes I really want the lighter guitar. So, you know, they're awesome. They're perfect frets. They're made amazing, and they're better than some of the very expensive guitars I have from other brands sitting in my storage unit, never played, because they're not as good.
Do you have your blood painted in any of the LTDs?
What's that now?
Do you have your blood? Do you have your blood painted
No,
in
no.
any of the LTDs?
That's only one guitar.
Right.
My wife made them stop at 18 vials. That was enough.
Is that a hollow body or solid?
Solid as a rock. I don't own a hollow body guitar.
Like new.
Not one, actually, I'm thinking about it. No, I think that the Relic Eclipse, isn't that one chambered? So that's almost hollow body.
How'd you become an ESP artist?
I stole a guitar. I'm kind of serious. Prior to Tony coming on board, I was here in San Diego to play Kirk Hammett's Fair Festival. And I showed up before Kirk did, and ESP had sent like a bevy of guitars for him to play that night. He didn't send his own from Metallica. So there was like a stack of guitars there, and I opened them up, and I found this beautiful quilt top FXR. And I said, this guitar is mine, I'm keeping it. Kirk goes, keep it, dude. It's yours, man. And the next thing you know, like Kirk was pushing me on it, and the best decision I ever made. Best guitars. Everything else is shit.
Nice.
I mean that. Awesome stuff. Awesome.
Can you please play a Strike of the Beast?
Strike of the Beast? Lately, I've had this mental block on that riff sometimes when I think about it. A riff I played my whole life. It's like the first Exodus riff I ever wrote, just about.
You ever heard that song by Total Death by Creator? The chorus of Strike of the Beast sounds a lot like Total Death.
No, Total Death sounds a lot like Strike of the Beast.
Yeah, you guys did it first.
Yeah, of course we did.
Yeah.
But it's heavy metal, right? People all over the years say this sounds like theirs, theirs sounds like yours. Like it's heavy metal, like there's only X amount of chords you can play on a guitar. Sometimes you're going to stumble upon the same things, it's fun. Yeah.
When you're making up songs, do you just jam along with something and then turn that off and then make something up from that, or like old music that you had, or just bands that you're influenced by and then you have a new band?
Repeat the question. I'm sorry. Come on.
How do you come up with new material?
How do I come up with new
do you
material?
like
I
practice?
start with jamming. You start with jamming, and then you'll stumble onto something. Sometimes you'll stumble on a whole song overnight. I've started working on the new Exodus record, and I've been working on one song for 2 weeks now. But the riff is savage. Oh, God, it's so heavy. But there's so many options on how to do the riff, and sometimes it's hard for me to make up my fucking mind. It's like, God, I can do this riff like this or like this. Let's just do it like all of those ways. And next thing you know, the song's 8 minutes long, and I'm trying not to do that. It is what it is.
What's the floorboard processor?
That's called Quad Cortex from Neural DSP. It's what I use in Lee Altus as well when we're traveling and don't have our amp rigs. It's amazing. Lee actually uses this everywhere. It will capture and mimic your own amps. It has 1 million amps in it, delays and all the effects, and look how big it is. It's like tiny. It's awesome. It's amazing, amazing piece of gear. It's replaced my Kempers for sure. Yes, sir.
How was it touring with Phil Anselmo on that last Slayer tour?
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, we took Pantera out on their first ever tour with Exodus and Suicidal, so it was totally fun. I mean, it was the last ever tour. It was a good time. You tried not to let it get weird on you, as far as like this is it. I never really thought about it ending until the last final of the 2 shows, and it kind of dawned on me. And but that was a good one. I'll remember that tour forever.
So there's no chance of a reunion Slayer show ever?
Man, you got to talk to other people. That's out of my pay grade. Look, if anybody ever asked me to do it, of course I'm down to do it. But I don't think it's ever going to happen. I think the band's ended, and unlike all the other farewell tours that started 5 years ago and are still continuing, I think this one's over.
How long did it give you to prepare for Slayer when you got the call?
They gave me a couple months to learn songs. I played 17 songs first day. But the first thing I do when I got to learn a song is I don't learn it on a guitar. I listen to it, because despite knowing each other for 1 million years, I didn't know those songs like a fan like you guys would, right? You guys could hum and sing every time change and riff change. I couldn't. And so I had to learn the songs as if I was just listening and not playing. And then once I knew where all the parts were coming and all the changes and solos, then I learned to play it, so that works for me. There's no sense learning the one riff if you don't know where the second one comes.
If you could guitar duel any guitar player, alive or dead, who would it be? And
If I
why?
could what?
If you could guitar duel any other guitar player, alive or dead, who would it be?
Yngwie, because I just drop kick him in the balls. And while he's down there like fucking screaming and crying, then I just get up over his fucking head. In your face! He's a legend. He's a legend. He's on my Mount Everest of guitar players, even if he is a dick. I mean, when it comes to the Mount Everest of guitar players, you had to, for me personally, you had to change the course of the river in rock guitar. And there's amazing guitar players who aren't on it. Richie Blackmore's not on it. Michael Schenker. To me, it's Chuck Berry, Jimi Hendrix, Eddie Van Halen, and Yngwie. That's it. Mm-hmm. Who else made rock and roll guitar completely change from that day forward for everybody?
Jimmy Page. Randy Rhoads.
Nobody. There's great guys. Dimebag's almost on it. But like Eddie Van Halen, he changed the equipment we all use. You know, like, did you ever see a Strat with a humbucker in it before Eddie? Nobody did, you know. He's the guy who said, you know, Les Paul sounds fatter, but I like the way a Strat plays. I think I'll just put that pickup in it. Duh, no one ever thought about it before, you know, but Yngwie, I give him his credit. You know, he changed what everybody's sweeping and all that shit out to him. He changed guitar, you know. It's a dick though.
Hey, play some Yngwie.
That's it. Sorry, Yngwie. You got me. Yeah, go ahead.
In 1977, when I was 10, Kiss came out with a comic book and they put their blood in it. Is that where you got the idea to put your blood on the guitar?
Dude, they put about like fucking a quarter gram of blood in there. 18 vials from me. They didn't put four little vials. Oh, there you go. That was me. I needed cookies and orange juice after pumping out 18 vials, you know, like getting lightheaded, you know, just like going to the blood bank.
Can you play Gates of Babylon?
Sure. Something like that.
Yeah.
Faking parts, but that's the gist of it.
Did you ever see Randy Rhoads?
Favorite Show No
Yes, I
Mercy
did.
riffs.
What's that?
Favorite riffs, but Show No Mercy.
Love that song.
I want to hear the story of Hell's Breath.
The story of Hell's Breath. There is no real story about it. It's just an old song. The first riff I ever wrote for Exodus is the main riff in that. I'll take that. And then there's part of that Kurt put in Trapped Under Ice, right? And yeah, it's just early Exodus shit, you know? Just like, gotta get away. Old shit. Yeah, there's no real story behind it.
Hey, you got any stories about Paul Baloff? He's going to have quite a reputation, obviously. Was there ever a time when you're like, this guy is a crazy motherfucker?
Come on up. Let's talk about Paul Baloff.
I would just say, like, when was a time when you guys were hanging out and you're like, this guy's out of his fucking mind. We got to get away from this guy. I mean,
Oh, never. Come on.
Oh, okay.
You got to remember one thing. We were all every bit as out of our minds as Paul was. Like, you know, we might have looked a little more innocent, you know, like, you know, 20-year-old Gary Holt and 20-year-old Rick Holt and 20-year-old, 19-year-old Tom Honey. We looked like anime characters, but we were pure, unadulterated evil. And the last people you wanted at your house party. Baloff looked the part, so maybe he got a little more of the notoriety, but we were all fucking animals. I've apologized to people over the years. Like, remember what we did 30 years ago in your house? I'm real sorry, man. It's all right. It's okay. I got over it. Paid the damages off.
A funny or a violent story from the Ruthie's In days?
Ruthie's, I mean, they were like fistfights on stage, between audience members and our posse, our gang, the Slay team. Andy Anderson, Toby Rage, Lonnie Hunel, Alexis Olsen. I remember once someone got on stage and knocked my Marshall off the cabs. But it kept working, because they didn't come unplugged, and it was on the ground. And so they were just throwing punches at this dude, just haymakers. I was right in the middle. So I'm standing there, and these punches are going right around my head, and I'm just playing, and they're trying to kill the guy who's behind me. And they missed me, though, somehow. They landed those punches. Fucking accurate.
Good time.
Marksman.
Play some blues?
What's that?
Can you play some blues?
Play some blues? I can play white boy blues. Rock blues, I marvel at real blues players. They're fucking so killer. Actually, I'm gonna in a couple weeks go see Kingfish. That guy, so sick. Yeah.
What are your top 5 riffs that influence you?
Top 5 of mine,
Like
or anybody's?
Anyone's, yeah.
Oh, that's hard. That's almost impossible. There's songs with like 5 crushing riffs. Let me think. Rock Bottom is one of the best riffs ever written.
Oh, yeah.
Gates of Babylon. Still of the Night. I was messing around with that back there warming up. That's a fucking awesome riff. Battery, it's one of my favorite riffs. Blackened. The middle breakdown in Angel of Death, sickest thing. Can't remember the song. One of me and Baloff's favorite riffs ever, Destruction. It's on the first album. That riff, something like that. It's like one of my favorite riffs. Me and Baloff used to go crazy for that. It's riffs. There's riffs everywhere. I love them all. I love riffs. I love riffs.
What's your favorite Slayer album?
Hell Awaits. Everybody always gushes over Rain and Blood, rightfully so. Hell Awaits is just so satanic and fucking evil. So good. My favorite Slayer song to play live is Hell Awaits. Especially when we had the pyro, the fire. Because that's when the troughs on top of the cabs with a huge wall of fire, and I'd get right up to that shit to where it's like really kind of almost on the edge of dangerous, and just bathe in it. Because, it's like every kid's dream. You're a guitar player. You dream of shit on fire all over the stage. You set hella fires as a kid, thinking about what it was going to but you ran because the fire got too big and you didn't know what to do. Yeah, it was fucking awesome, but that's my favorite.
Play the lead for Hell Awaits?
What's that?
Play the lead for Hell Awaits?
No. You can't play that lead by yourself. You need the fury and everything going on. Because I like a lot of the solos I made up on the spot. You know, like I'd try something different. And I'd go out and I'd look over at Warren, my guitar tech, and sometimes he'd go, ooh, I'm sick, and then he'd look at me and just, no. And I'd look at him and laugh like that, and he'd just, no. Cross that one off the list. That didn't work. But, you know, that was the beauty of Slayer. It's like I had the ability to improvise and try different things, you know, if I felt like I was tired of doing the same thing. You know, no one ever said you got to do this way. And so I would try completely different things off the cuff, and sometimes they worked really great. And when they did, I knew I'd never remember what I did the next day. Like, I already forgot it. Solo's over. I'm too fired up. I'm like, you ain't gonna, and Warren would go, you ain't gonna do that again twice ever. Like, you're right. And it was great.
Can you play Dead Skin Mask?
Dead Skin Mask? Yeah, that's easy. But, you know, you need the other guitar and all that. Not gonna hurt anything. So you guys want me to sign stuff and things? Yeah. When we get to that point, I'm done with this. This is gonna put away. So what do you want? Do you guys want to hear anything? What's that?
The wristband.
The wristband?
Yes.
I only brought one. I got like 4. I got 4 more clinics. So these sharp edges, they hurt. So, what's that?
Crazy tour stories.
Crazy tour stories? All right, here we go. I remember in 1985, we were on tour with our heroes, Venom, in Europe. And no one spoke English in Germany then. And we were in some tiny little village hours early. Like the trucks hadn't even shown up. It's wintry, and we're just in this one little village. And this guy comes up to the bus. And he didn't say anything in English, but we were just like, come on in, man, you're our friend. Baloff did it. He came on the bus and sat there while we smoked hash for like hours. And then the first English he said, after like 2 or 3 hours of on our bus, he goes, I'm a rotten roller. And before he finished roller, we like, get off our bus. And Baloff threw him off the bus, and Tom jabbed him in the chest with a drumstick, and he just goes, oh, ooh, and right into the snow. It was awesome. I mean, if he had kept his mouth shut, he could have hung out with us for the next 12 hours. But at that time, we didn't like those hair bands, although I safely can admit I covet all of Warren DeMartini's riffs now. We secretly did then, but we had to do it in hiding.
Yeah. Tell us a killer drunken story with you and Jeff.
Those are personal. Those are private. There's really nothing crazy about them. Just drunk, you know, drunk guys. You know, that's how the story goes. You know, 2 guys got really drunk and they laughed and fell in the bushes and shit like that.
Good enough.
Yeah, it's good times. So you know, good memories.
Favorite
All right.
Venom riffs?
What?
Do you have any favorite Venom riffs?
All of them. Die Hard. It's one of my favorite songs. I mean, those are heroes of mine. You know, Venom, Merciful Fate, Discharge, Angel Witch. You know, obviously the bigger guns, Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, and stuff. But like, you know, Venom. That's put me on my path.
So you mentioned heavier guitars. Do you use certain guitar straps?
Come on up here, brother. Come on up. Come on down. Come on down. I need like one of those long, skinny microphones like Chuck Wooler used to have on Match Game. Hey, what's your name? How you doing? What's up?
So you mentioned heavier axes, the guitars. What kind of straps do you use? Any special strap for the heavier guitars? Because I know I have a custom, the bass pair. 3 pairs bass and the fucker.
Oh, those things are heavy.
Yeah. I recommend anything.
No, I have a signature strap with Richter straps. They make the best shit in the world. It's slightly padded, but it's normal. I like a guitar really heavy because to me, even when my back hurts and stuff, I feel like Jesse Ventura in Predator. Now, he was the guy who had the big chain gun, right? I feel like I got that kind of a weapon on, you know? Not some little like AK. I got the fucking 50 caliber chain gun, you know? And so I don't know, it's just one of those stupid masculine, toxic masculinity things of like thinking a guitar that hurts my back is good for me. But they do sound sick because there's all this extra wood, you know? So,
Maybe those 2-hour shows, like, fuck, you know, after a while, well, I know you switch on and off guitars.
Yeah.
Right. Even though they're just maybe because of what, sweat or.
no, I'm just one of those guys who plays way too many guitars live. You know, I used to laugh at those guys. Look at that guy up there. He's playing like 6 different guitars. What a poser. Now I've become that guy. No, like with Exodus, I take 4, 2 for each tuning. Not a big deal. You know, maybe no, I take more than that. How
We
many?
had 6 last week.
Oh, okay. Correction.
Called you out. 40 minutes set.
That's all. Now I feel like that was the Rick James skit on Chappelle's show. Like, you know, like, yeah, I never punched him in the mouth. Yeah, I punched him in the mouth. I never punched Charlie Murphy in the mouth. Yeah, I punched Charlie Murphy. Yeah, I took 4 guitars. Yeah, I had 6, 7. You know. Thank you. All right, let's sign some shit and hang out. All you.